Hey, it's Louis Lane with My Note Taking Nerd, and today I want to talk to you about the 12 rules for presenting that you want to follow, or else you're asking for really big trouble. So, with that said, let's get the party started. Now, today we're going to look at these small business marketing strategies that allow people you're presenting to, your prospects, customers, anybody that you're trying to influence, to give you their their full attention when you're presenting to them in person, over the phone, webinar, training video, anywhere. So for years now, people have paid Jay Abraham and Chet Holmes thousands and thousands of dollars to learn this info, either when they went to the PEQ, the Performance Enhancement Quotient Seminar, or when they bought the home study course. So I'd like you to pay very close attention, and you'll see the 12 rules that Chet Holmes follows to grab the eyeballs. And he did this when doing all the presentations he's done for forever now, but specifically to grab Charlie Munger's attention, the second in command to one of the richest men alive, Warren Buffett, Jay Abraham, Tony Robbins, in order to keep them riveted while presenting this employment or joint venture offers to them. Now, when you follow these 12 rules, just in those, when Chet was following these 12 rules just in those three presentations, he, it led him to doubling the sales for Charlie Munger's company, co-hosting several prestigious, ultra prestigious, ultra expensive events with Jay Abraham, in co-hosting another exclusive high-end seminar with Tony Robbins, all of which had led to him, to Chet, not only becoming famous but rich on the back of these gentlemen's customer lists. I highly advise that you print these. Well, I mean, you could go to the site and print these out, the post. I'll tell you the web address when you go back, when we finish this. But go to the site and print these out, or make sure and take notes right now. And keep these things handy, these insights, these 12 rules for presenting handy, until you've committed them fully to memory. Where someone could wake you up in the middle of the night and ask you, what are the 12 rules for presenting, and you can rattle them right off the top of your head, 3/4 asleep. So it's my promise that this memorization, or keeping these visible for preparation for a presentation, they'll pay off huge. And if only in diminishing the stress that you might have for how to present, because you feel like you don't know how to do it. So now, on with the show, the first rule. So number one is, you remember that your visual presentation, it's just an aid. So when you're using a slideshow like this, it's just an aid. It's not the presentation. Especially when you're doing it in person. So you are what you want them paying attention to. So if you can, you take control of the visual aids. You'll be able to shut them off when you feel it's necessary. You want to drive all your points home, not have them people spacing out on what the graphic is that you're showing. And one of the things Dan Kennedy does is he does that. He still uses transparencies. Well, not so much, because they have that technology where you can put there's like a camera, I guess, that looks at where he would usually place a transparency. And the camera just shoots what he lays down on the board, but he'll take that off if he wants you back on him. And so, number two is, you want to recognize that using humor can raise interest and attention by 700%, is what Chet has found. And so you want to find ways to get people laughing. And it can be a really tough topic, especially for somebody that doesn't consider themselves funny. And Dan Kennedy wrote a book. It's called Make 'Em Laugh and Take Their Money. And so if you want some insights into how you can weave your marketing message, and what you're trying to, a platform, sales presentation, or a presentation where you're trying to make an impact, like training or something like that, and still be able to keep people up and interested and laughing, and I definitely highly recommend you go get that book, Make 'Em Laugh and Take Their Money. Now, the number three is practice presentation each and every time before you present. You want to make sure that you know what's on your slides cold, so that you could present it properly. You want to be comfortable with everything you're communicating, because the better you know your information, the less likely that you're going to feel disempowered by it, or disempowered by the prospect of talking about it to people. Number four that we're going to, we want to make sure and cover is you want to pre-sell or pre-frame. As you start the presentation, you want to get people really excited about each of the picks, each of the topics that you're going to go over. And so, you want to, one of the way, and this is your headline. You think this is your headline. It's getting everybody ready and getting everybody wet for what's about to come, whetting their appetite. And so, the example is the 5 most dangerous trends in blank, and whatever their business is, whatever your business is, whatever the people want. 7 mistakes cost you a fortune. 8 ways to make more profit per customer. And you put these on your agenda slide, and be sure to get them wanting and excited to hear the information before you even begin. Okay, you gotta do that. If you don't do that, you're just asking for people to tune out on you. And number 5, moving on to number 5, we have visual aids are extremely important. So much is communicated visually. So without visual aids during a presentation, people will tune in and out because they can think at about 500 words per minute, but people can only speak at about 100 and 150 words a minute. So the visual gives them something to keep them hooked while you're speaking. And so it's a balance, though. You want them focused on something, graphic, but then you have to know, okay, boom, I'm going to pull this back, I'm going to pull you back to me. And you're going to see, too, that you need to move fast. That's one of the steps later. And that's one of the things that will keep people riveted, and that balance of not letting them tune out. So moving on to 6, if you sell by phone a lot, so you're thinking, okay, I do a lot of presentations by phone. I don't do, platform presentations. I don't do webinars. So I do a lot by phone. So if you're doing that, you can actually instruct people on the other people you're talking to draw out, simple diagrams while you're talking. So the example he uses is for when he's talking about an audience that's ready to buy from you, okay, that you're going to present to. So this audience, this will give, when you do this, it'll give people something to keep them interested. And a good diagram for this is one to have them draw a pyramid. You could do this now. Draw a pyramid, put a line through the top 10%, and another one for the next 20%. And the top 10% of people are people currently buying what you're selling. They're like ready. They don't need they don't need to be talked into it or persuaded or anything. They're already ready to go. They just need to see it. The next 20%, they're open to the idea, so they need to see a lot of benefits, features, all that kind of stuff, and then they can, they're open to the idea, so they can, once they see enough, they can make that decision. The rest, they don't even care, and they're not in the market right now. So the best advertising speaks to all 3 levels, because even at that bottom percentage, you want them aware that you're a solution for when they do care to solve this problem. So the best kind of advertising speaks to all 3. That's an example. If you look at that, pyramid on your piece of paper, then you'd be able to follow along with me and have a visual, aid. Now moving on to 7, have no more than one main message per slide. And so at the most, you want 4 bullet points, preferably 2 or 3, and try to have a graphic on every page. There's visual stimulation. And obviously, I'm not following this. I'm just doing this, quick video for you guys. But if I was doing something and I'm trying to get money from an audience, and that's the backbone of the attention that I need, I definitely do this. I definitely follow this. This is just me just jumping on the computer real quick and putting this together for you guys. But definitely adhere to that, number 7. And then number 8, like I said before, it referenced to keep it fast-paced. You don't want to keep one slide up for 5 minutes. You want to go through it at a fairly quick pace while you're getting your information across. And so number 9, whenever possible, use facts and statistics. They add huge credibility to you and your message. It backs up. It's not just you saying it. It's Harvard Medical School. It's Wharton Business School. Whatever. It's Gary Vaynerchuk saying this. This is where market information pays off huge. And if it's studies, it's even more, to where it's been tested, something like that you're trying to prove. And so number 10, well-told tales increase recall by 26%. So tell stories during your presentation. String together stories that lead people to want to do business with you. When choosing stories, always remember that goal. One of the finest programs I've ever come across that does a great job of that is Dan Kennedy's Influential Writing, because he talks about how to, all the different stories, all the different points you're trying to make and trying to establish in people's minds that help them see you're the person they need to be talking to. And so 11 is take control of the meeting. So this is more like a one-on, or if you're in front of a group, or you could even do it over the phone. I could ask you right now, something as simple as asking you, hey, work with me here. Get up, stretch, for a second. Pull your hands up, put your hands to the side, put your hands to the right, lean over to the right, lean over to the left with your hands in the air, lean back, make it like Tony Robbins, he says, and moan deep, and the whole audience is like doing that. And it's a good frame. This allows you to put yourself in a good frame. And you can't see it over the phone, but if you're in the front of a group and you're having people move, you could have them bring people together. So if people are spaced out, you say, okay, everybody, come on, let's bring this in. You could bring them closer to the front. So you do both. Okay, let's bring this in and bring everybody closer to the front. Basically, just give people a command. After they follow it, you'll be in a much better headspace. Okay, because you'll see that okay, they're listening to you. And so number 12 is when you're doing a one-on-one presentation or a pitch, never have a desk between you or and the prospect. Okay, or a table or anything that's a counter, anything like that. You want to ask them to move. You tell them, hey, you know what? It's going to be easier for both facing the same direction, because what I'm going to show you, and it helps if you have the aid with you, the visual aid. I'm going to show you this, and it makes it real tough. If we're sitting across from each other, it makes it kind of awkward. Can you just come, sit right here next to me? And it takes away that adversarial positioning and lets you, be able to get kind of on the same level. That's something a friend would do. Like a friend would sit next to you. They don't want to sit across the desk from you. They would feel, and so that helps with you there. Now, there you have it. You follow these guidelines, and I guarantee you'll have a lot. You'll never have to worry about losing your perfect prospects in your audience once you nail all these. Sure, you're going to lose people who can't buy or have no desire for what you offer. And you shouldn't be, you shouldn't even care, and those people shouldn't be in front of you in the first place if you're doing your marketing right. But your perfect prospects are going to stay glued to your presentation, and you're going to be best prepared. They're best prepared for what you ask them to do next, because your presentation will lead them to that. So print this, go to the site. I'm going to show you the link once again at the end here. Go to the site, print this out, and keep it somewhere, or you can go back and watch this and take notes on it, and just take notes on the 12 steps. Keep it somewhere where it'll remind you of these 12 elements that make your presentation a pleasure to consume and buy from. Yeah, that's it. There's the site. Come check it out. Come out, check out the post in its entirety. And I thank you for being here. And this is Louis Lane, and I'll talk to you later.